Hi, my name is Mamawi Andrew, software engineering fourth year, and me are my group mates. And we are going to discuss, present you a tutorial about the code of ethics for software engineers. First of all, I'll begin with myself. A software engineer probably should act in a manner that is in the best interest of his client, employer, and most especially in the best interest of the public. For example, one unique way that a software engineer can do this is make sure that you do not overestimate your ability. For example, if you're a Java programmer, do not say you can do C++. That will inevitably lead to your downfall because you'll be discovered to be lying.
Hi, I'm Namara Patricia, and the other code of ethics is the other principle. Sorry, is profession, and the software engineer ought to advance the integrity of the profession in relation to public interest. So, in particular, he ought to increase or So in particular, he ought to increase or release the knowledge about software engineering. For example, going to seminars or going to meetings. So he ought to talk about those other stuff about software engineering so that other people can learn. Thank you.
So probably here Muhammad has others.
My name is Sadiqa Muhammad, and when we talk about the fifth code of ethics, which is management, let me say managers should provide a fair and satisfying enumeration to their workers. Let me say a Java programmer has developed an application. You look at the lines of code, let me say 1,000 lines of code, and then you see like, okay, each line of code is worth $5. That's motivating. So if I'm paying per line of code, let me say $5, it will be like that. If a developer, let me say PHP developer, develops a code for let me say 60 lines of code, that is what I'm going to pay him for. So in other words, management should look at the illumination of your workers and you pay them according to the work done. Then the other one is, let me say another example is the relationship between the client and the manager. There should be a proper relationship between the client and the manager in a way that the manager should go ahead and specify what the client wants, and the client should really coordinate hand in hand with the manager what he or she wants to be developed. Now, that's all I had for you, and on to my colleague.
I'm Nisima Susan. I'm taking you through the fourth code of ethics, which is judgment. And in judgment, we look at the software engineer being able to maintain integrity and independence in the profession. And therefore, this can be achieved in the way that if in case there is a conflict in the code, the software engineer has to ensure that they inform their clients. For example, if they can't meet the deadline, they should inform their clients on time. Or if they can't design the system the way it's supposed to be designed, in that if some requirements are going to miss or design a faulty system, they should ensure that they inform their customers to avoid conflicts and to maintain integrity and independence in their profession. That's all. Thank you.
Do you have anything to add?
I'm Bugimbe Hamza, taking you through the excellent principle of code of ethics, which is college. For this fact, software engineers should be fair and supportive to other colleagues. I mean, software engineers should at least have some fair hearing to their colleagues. For example, if I come to probably Andrew and maybe asking Andrew for something, he should be supportive to me. I mean, he should show me that at least hope for getting something better. Then the other thing is software engineers should refrain from the undue credit. For example, what I mean by refrain, you should be able to stop yourself from doing something negative to the society or something negative, something negative to other colleagues. For example, like I'm taking an example, a smoker. I mean, we shouldn't all smoke in public. If you find that your colleague is smoking in public, you should at least prevent them from smoking. Then the other thing is, software engineers should have some fair hearing. Yeah, I'm done with that. Then software engineers should review good works of other colleagues. I mean, if someone has probably done some good work, you should at least be thankful and grateful for their work that they've done. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Nasa Zaneri, and in addition to the profession code of ethics, a software engineer should take responsibility of detecting the errors, the software errors in a software, and then we should also take responsibility of checking and correcting the errors in the documents on which they work. In this case, it's going to help a software engineer to deliver what the customers really want and what they really ask them to do. And then a software engineer should also avoid working with people who can be like in a contradicting mode with this code. Thank you very much.
Hello, this is Samantha. I want to talk to you about the other principle of ethics, that is product. When you're trying to develop your product or software, ensure that the product and modifications really meet the professional standards of ethics. To achieve this, you can try to collect your requirements very well, ensure that requirements are realistic, that they can be met. Then when you're estimating your costs and schedules, try to make sure they are realistic and you can meet those schedules that you've really set. Another thing is documenting your work so well so that your product is usable. Document everything, put your requirements in the document, your designs and everything so that your product is really usable. During documentation, make sure that you put the problems that you encountered, approved solutions, and that maybe the projects that you looked at while developing your product. Thank you, and I hope this really makes us get better products in the future. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bonita Beatrice Nanzi, and I'm going to talk about the code of self. As a software engineer, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to live as a software engineer in that whatever it is in line with the code of ethics? First and foremost, you have to continually improve your knowledge about the different things that are involved. For example, when it comes to the development of the software, the processes, the specification, analysis, design, you have to continually improve your knowledge in that area. And another area that you have to continually improve your knowledge is Another area you have to continually improve is the knowledge of the environment, the languages that are being used, and then you don't have to influence other people to carry out activities that are against the code of ethics. You have to make sure you know the code and practice it. And above all, just like a normal person, just like a human being, you have to live according to the code, practice it, practice what you preach in summary. Thank you.
We're going to discuss public as the major code of ethics in software engineering. This is the major code because it deals with the client, and as it's stated, software engineer must act consistent with public interest. For example, you don't want to do systems that are of harm to any public interest, safety, and anything of public health. Thank you.
Okay, an ethical code is adopted by the organization to help those people who are given decisions to know what is good and what is bad, so that they can be able to distinguish between the good and the bad. So to the public, the software engineer should act
in accordance with the public interest in some areas. Like a software engineer should develop softwares that meet the specifications of the users. Like if a user tells you to develop a software that does something, you should develop a software that does that thing. Don't develop a software according to your code you're writing, but according to what the user wants. Then software engineers should act for responsibility of their work. You're supposed to do something, don't do something haphazardly. You're supposed to do something like completely. Then there is the disclosure of information to particular people, like to the authorities that are required, like to the user. If you're developing a software that is going to be harmful to the user, that in the long run to make some harm to the user, you should tell the user that this software I'm developing is going to cause this harm, A, B, C, and D.
And also to add on, you shouldn't develop softwares whereby you can disclose confidential information. Information should only be seen by people that are meant to see it and not to be leaked out in any unprofessional manner.
Thank you. I'm Nambeja Cotton.
So, as you've seen probably, software engineering is not just a profession of only writing code and whatnot. Each one of us here has explained to you in one way or the other that software engineering is much more about ethics and professionalism. To be truly an engineer, you must at all costs implement each and every ethical and moral principle that is there in the code of ethics in software engineering. So on behalf of the team, say thank you and happy software engineering.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.